I've got a problem with today's full deck challenge. This was last week's and it was vintage and splatters, brown splatters. So my vintage is there, my brown splatters are there. But the things I've got to carry forward don't go with this week's prompt. This week's prompt is black and white, one bright colour, stencil and texture paste. Now I have nothing on here that is black and white. You will say, well, that's a black and white photograph. No, when I get given black and white, it means black and white. So that doesn't cut it for me when it's a colour. This is just the way I am working with these prompts. I'm being very literal with them because that's the way I will be challenged. So black and white doesn't work with me with that. That's sepia and cream, and that then goes for this, because if you remember I brought forward a bit of this paper, but this paper's very cream, very vintage, and the writing's black, yes, but it's not on white paper. It would need to be on white paper for me to carry that forward, and even then I'd struggle for a reason I'm coming to in a second. So the only thing on here that I could carry forward is a colour. So I have got a kind of magenta colour here, I've got an orange here, and I've got a green stripe here, because it's got to be a bright colour. So I can forget about this sea colour here, and I can forget about this, I can forget about the brown. I think I'm talking about, I think my carry forward needs to be a bright green, orange, or maybe a bright kind of magenta. But we'll come to that later on. For now, I'm going to concentrate on my black and white. Well, for now I'm going to concentrate on my white, because what I decided I was going to do was this. I've got out my Ace of Clubs, because that's nice and black and white. What I decided I was going to do is I was going to pick out some white textured papers, and I have an issue with this paper here, because although it's a nice textured paper, it's actually got brown straw in it, so I can't use it as much as I want to. I can't. It needs to go away. I do have some fabulous Braille paper to use. I've also got a bit of white broderie anglais to use. I've got some rice paper, which has got a smooth size one side and a kind of texture side the other side, so I can use both sides of that. I've got a bit of journal that I'm currently making. That's come from that. This is a bit of wallpaper, and it's got a texture to it. This was actually from a sample, but I've still got a bit there. This is a very curious bit of textured paper. It's like the way they've woven it is textured. It's very interesting. So I've got these textures of white that I am going to lay down on my card. So that's the white bit done. I've got this stencil and I'm going to lay this stencil over here. I'm going to stick it down so it stays put. I should probably get a piece of this to put underneath as well, shouldn't I? And just stick it down so it stays put. I don't want, well, maybe I do. I'm just wondering whether I want to cover up that, but I don't think I do. I'm then going to get a bit of tape, washi tape, and I'm going to stick it diagonally across the stencil. And what I've forgotten to do, and I really need to do, is make sure the card doesn't shift either, so I'm just doing a bit of and of course it doesn't want to stick to that because it's, I'll make it stick, I'll make it stick. There we go. Right, so stencil. I'm now going to get my black ink and my dopper, and I'm going to stencil through this. And what I'm going to quickly do is just give the stencil a wipe down to get that ink off so it doesn't stain it. It will stain it because it's permanent and because I can only do this much. Oh, and that's moved. Oh dear. Let's get that back on where it should be. That's because I was rubbing too much. Let's stick this back down here. Stay put, stay put. Let's put this back on where it belongs. Nope. Where does it belong? There, there, there. There we go. Let's stick it back down again. Right, shouldn't have tried to clean it. Not going to clean it anymore. Right, and then what I'm going to do is I'm going to take a bit of washi tape and put it one side of that bit of washi tape, and then I'm going to take another bit of washi tape and put it the other side of that washi tape, putting it right up close, as close as I possibly can. Okay. And then I'm going to take up this bit of washi tape and hopefully I'll have got that right. Oh, it's not quite right, is it? Because we've got a little bit of black showing there, but I can, that's okay, we'll cope with that. Then I'm going to take some of this, which is actually grit one because that's the one I have and I wasn't going out to buy a new one, and I'm going to take some Liquitex Quinquendigo Magenta. So the magenta colour is the carry forward from my, and I'm just going to put some of that in there. Let's just mix that up. Can you say that's not bright, can you? Maybe put too much ink in there because it's not really soaking it up much, is it? I have put too much ink in there, and the danger is that it will seep out. So what I need to do is just, you know, because it's too much ink in there, there's a danger that the ink will seep out. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to use this to put it on, so I'm not pushing it through too. And these different ones will pick it up differently. I don't know if this is working or not. I might have to rescue it after I've done this. Who knows? Because I have made this way too late. And what I should have done was I should have made another batch of this. So it looked like the colour wasn't taken, so I put more in. And actually just because I hadn't mixed it up. And I'm keeping it really quite rough, as you can see. I did get the spatula out, but I think I'm better doing it this way, to be honest. Right. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to very quickly try and take this off so that it doesn't. Okay, that's interesting. Right, I'm going to go and wash this, let this dry, and then we'll see in a bit. Oh, there's the sun coming in as well. I'll pick this up so you can see it. It's missed that bit there, hasn't it? They've not come that must have been little tiny ones, some of the little tiny ones that haven't come through there. Maybe I'll just take this and just dot some in there. Like that. Right, I'll see you later when it's dry and we decide if we're going to have to do something else. So just washing that and coming back and looking at it again, I just thought, no, this isn't going to work. It needs something down here. So what I'm doing is I've cut out an inch circle, a 3/4 inch circle, and a 1/2 inch circle, and I'm inking up the inch circle to make the inch circle black. Yes, I just got this dauber back out the bin because I thought I'm not going to start a new dauber because I very rarely use black anyway for stenciling on a dauber, so I thought I'll just get that one back out. Right, so that's a black. I thought I could put like a black with a white, and then we'll put the I can never say that word, magenta, quinquecadone magenta, a drop of that on there to dye that, and then put that on there, and I think that will just lift it because it's still just using the same bright colour. I wish that I'd thought about, that's the ace there, and the pattern that has landed on the ace, and I wish I'd thought about that because I don't like that. So I'm actually going to take my Dr. Martens white bleed proof and just try and paint out that one. This is still not dried clearly. I just want to paint this one out. Just so that the card. It doesn't take away from that. I don't mind that bit there down the bottom, which is still on the frill of the kind of torn bit of the fabric. It was just this big one here was taking away, for me it was taking away from the fact that that was a card hidden there. And what I also want to do is I want to try and highlight that card a bit, and I'm going to do that with the pink as well. Let me just clean this brush up. I don't have any a water pot on my desk today because I only came to do this. Let's just put a bit of water on there to clean this white off here. Let's try that again, just make sure it's off. See, it wasn't all off. Right, so first thing I want to do is I want to put a drop of the pink on here. This, by the way, is watercolour card. That's what I just thought I'll get out that because that'll smooth this all around a bit. There we go. I want to make sure it's all down in the it's you can tell it's watercolour the way it's sucking all the ink back to it. Look. It just wants to suck it all up. Let's just move this away so it's not going to take the next week to dry. There we go. Now, I was going to just try and put a wee bit round here, wasn't I? Just like that. Just to, oh, there's a wee ace hiding there. That's all it was for. Right, let's just, well, I'll go to the sink and wash this now, because I need that to dry. And then I'll put that on there, and I think that might do it. So I decided that the black one was too big, and so I punched a hole out of the black one with the large size, the 3/16 size of my crocodile. And I also decided I didn't want a complete circle for that bottom one because it just became too much about the circle, so I've hung it off the edge. I'll just cut that. I can take that bit of washi tape off that back there. I've forgotten about that. And this is a really different one because of the not just because of the colour palette, but also the way I've decided to take it. I decided not to really put a focal image at all, but actually to make it all about the texture, because this is really, really raised. Let me make sure. See, it's really raised, and you've got the kind of fraying of the material, which also has these lines across it. I've got ink all over my fingernails. You've got the bit of wallpaper here. You've got the bit of rice paper on the kind of textured side. You've got the bit of rice paper on the smooth side. You've got the bit of broderie anglais. You've got the bit of braille paper. So it's all about this texture. There's the wee ace just peeking out there. It's all about texture with this colour just kind of coming away. Out. Did I tell you what that stencil was? I can't don't think I did. Is it forever marked thus now? Because it's stained, which I thought it might. But never mind. It is THS188. I'm trying to catch that in the light. And there you go. There we go. THS188. So it was black and white. So am I going to put it under B for black and white? Because it was B. And that was a Jodie Lewis Creations for B. That was Ballet, Bird, brown paper bag. Button. The button and the bird were the same. Am I going to put under B for black and white? Because that's what I've been tended to do. Once we stopped doing the colour, I put vintage under V. I'm wondering whether to put this under T for texture. Because it's all textured. Or do I put it under B for black and white? But it's not just black and white. I think the main thing about that card is it's textured, so I'm going to put it under T for textured. And that'll be the first thing under T. I really do like that. I like the fact that because I've used the grit paste, which is kind of sandy, there's just wee glints that are catching in the light without it being sparkly, just kind of glinting. Thank you so much for watching. I don't know quite when the next one of these might be. Shanuka's not got other commitments, family illnesses, I think she said. Well, she did say, but I don't know what that actually means in reality. But she's got other commitments anyway. Shanuka won't be... Shauna. Thank you so much for watching. I'm not 100% sure when the next full deck challenge card will be. Shauna's unwell at the moment, so this was the card that was for this week, but she's not done it yet, and it's only when she does it she gives us the prompt for the following week. So I don't know when we'll get that prompt, so I don't know when you'll get the card. But for now, you take care. Keep crafting. Bye.